I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to work on a hexagon via the 60-degree ruler. This is a Creative Grids ruler. It was gifted to me. It's a 60-degree equilateral triangle, and right on the image right there, it shows you how to do a hexagon and other ways to make things, right? Okay, you can turn that out to be a Christmas tree. That would be awesome. So what I have here is the beginning part of either a lap quilt, or you can do it as a table topper, and then each one of these squares or blocks is a placemat. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So we're going to take 3 cuts of one color material and 3 cuts of another. You could have it all the same. You could do it all 6 different cuts. It's all completely up to you, especially when it comes to any sort of season. But with Christmas coming up, or the holidays coming up, this is great for making it for gifts for people. So I have one that's in 4 units here. So I call this is to me is like a hexagon star. So because once you get all the pieces together, it kind of looks like a star in the center. Okay, and you can of course bust this with any sort of stash. It's a great stash buster or scrap buster for your fabrics, because we all know we have a collection, don't we? It's okay, we can admit that here. So what we've done here with the ruler is we've just taken some of our yardages of material, and I've taken the ruler and I have placed it down. And I've scooched it up to where I can try and utilize the fabric as much as possible. There is a flat top to the top of this. Flat top to the top of this ruler, and that's where you pretty much all those little points are going to come right into the center for that. Okay, so very easy is just to trim it out. If you don't like crossing over yourself or like this with your rotary blade, then get a little rotating mat. That would be awesome. Okay, so just kind of scoot along the side. I just want to make sure everything's nice and square across the top, and then I'm okay with my ability to scooch under. I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to cut myself. I'm just going to hopefully, this fabric was folding up there. Let's get a cleaner cut across. There we go. And then just scooting out just like that. Okay. So easy. Just a couple little threads stuck right there. Okay. So that is, if you have it folded over, you're going to get 4 cuts. So you can make lots of blocks. You just need 3 for this one set of the one color, and that can go towards another. You end up building it out no matter what, right? As you're going. So we got 3 of those. Okay, and I just scoot that off to the side, and then I've cut 3 of the gray. So as we put these together, we're going to take those, and that's going to be the top part of our block, or where we're going to put them together. We're going to stack another triangle right on top, and we're going to sew down on the right hand side. Okay, just like that. And you can either do them stacks of 2 and then put it together. I kind of like doing them in 3s, and then it's easier to put that, like the 2 rows together, these 2 flat seams right here all together. Okay, so we're going to do another gray on the opposite side of this one. Okay, and then the gray will be in the middle for the other one. It's just a flip and a flop. Okay, so there's that. We've got the gray in the middle, and then our 2 other pieces on either side. Okay, just like that. And then we'll just sew them down. And then to get your side pieces to square the block up, on the ruler here you can see there is where it's the second shaded line here. You would want that for seam allowance. Other than that, you would lose that in your square putting it together, and you want to make sure that happens because you don't want to lose any of that seam allowance. Okay, so that's how you lay that out. You're just going to give yourself that extra seam allowance on that one triangle, or in vice versa manner, right? Just make sure you go over. But it's super easy. And great way to use a ruler that may have been a gift to you, which this one was. It was purchased for a kaleidoscope project, but the kaleidoscope project that I was using had eight triangles to make the hexagon, not the 6. So I been trying to come up with uses for this ruler besides the obvious ones on there, but we did it as a project for family night at IT Force, and we made the beautiful quilt project you see behind me here using the same ruler. I did the ruler right up there, and then the side pieces are just like up here at the top. Okay, and then for the bottom part right down here, I did a strip of 4.5, another strip of 4.5 of the background fabric, and then this was a strip of 2.5, and then I just put the whole strips together and then just chopped it with the pieces that I needed for this length right here, which was about 2.5 inches. So very easy, great way to use the ruler and be making something very beautiful. Like you can there's a whole little Christmas tree idea. You can build out the hexes if you want to do your Y seams. You could definitely just make the hexes all go together and not having that little triangle fabric in between to square up the block to make it into that diamondy star sort of shape. Okay. So we'll just put those together. Just using a regular 1/4 inch seam allowance. These would be great as a great size for a placemat for the dining room table. And of course you can do them in all sorts of colors. Make them all party, and they come out with every time there's a birthday party or any sort of seasonal party. Who likes to party? I like to party. And I'm just using white thread on this. You could use coordinating threads or contrasting threads, whatever it is you like. Okay. Just flip it so I can get this side done. And that's our 2 halves together. It comes together really quickly. Like those 4 blocks together gives you a 38 by 38. So if you wanted to add another 5 blocks, so you had 9, you would have a lovely lap quilt in no time flat. And you've made it really unique and with some awesome shapes. Okay, so I just used my little cutter on the side of the machine. I'm going to press this. Well, here's one of the samples that I wanted to so you could see about the ruler edge and where you needed to make sure you were trimming off here. Make sure you're coming onto this side of the line, that one right there, to make sure you had enough room. Okay, just like that. Okay, you want to make sure you give yourself the amount of room that you need. So just give those a quick little press. And then we're going to add our side triangles. I find it easier to add them beforehand, before you get it into the hexagon shape. Okay. So here we go with our hexagon. And then we're going to take our red fabrics. We're going to go here and here. And here and here. Okay, and then I'm just going to sew those down. Because you're squaring it out, or you're pretty much rectangling it out, but you're making it squarish. Okay, so one on that side. And one on this side. Awesome. And then we'll just sew those there and there. Okay. And I love a good triangle quilt. So many things you can do. Like I said, build the tree out like there, or you can build like a more bigger tree with the layers of the triangles going all the way up. You could do this as a lovely wall hanging. Maybe if you don't have the room to hang a tree, you make yourself a tree and it becomes a wall hanger. There's those little battery operated lights you can put on fabric now without heating up the fabric. Just making sure that tab is coming down far enough past the triangle part. So that helps just link the blocks together. Okay, and then I've got this one over here. And it doesn't take very long to build this out. You could have a quick project in no time at all. Definitely a quilt in a day. And just some simple stitching in the triangles or along the seams would be beautiful. Okay, so now we have our pieces. There's two of them that looks just like this. Now I'll show you a different shape if you wanted to. Instead of making the hexagon, you could do a different little look. But of course that is completely up to you. Okay, got one like that. And then you can have another one just like this with the block. Or you can have it so they are, hold on, what did I have it that way? Or that way, depending on the fabrics. I mean, there's really a couple of different ways that you could lay it out, right? And you know, for this one, if you were, there we go, the wider parts together instead of the narrow parts together, it becomes a different little, almost like a hourglass. And then you can see that little bit of a tree shape there, or the tree shape there, building it out. Okay, so there's a couple different ways you can play around and have some fun. Okay, so but we are going to put their narrow points together to make that hexagon. Okay. Now I find that if you're visually lining up those triangles, and you have all the little fabrics crossing over here, and you're kind of spreading out to either side, the left and the right, to get a nice precise point. Hopefully as close as you can, anyways. Don't panic if you don't get it. It's not a big deal. Most important thing is, are you having fun? Are you learning something new? And are you enjoying it? That is what life is all about. Now we're just going to sew a little seam right across there. I enjoy using my walking foot for sewing all sorts of projects, not just quilted items or anything like that. It's just everything. I love my walking foot for everything. Take our little pin out of the way. Okay. And that is our beautiful hexagon star. Okay. Pretty little point right there in the center. It looks good. Give it a press. I just got one more to make, a little lap quilt. I'm gonna make it six squares. There we go. Thank you, everybody. Leave a comment if you like. I'd really appreciate it. Give us a video a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so. It's free and it really helps our channel. Thank you and have a fantastic weekend. Big hugs to you.